get that thing emptied. And I think I can clean it off and put it back behind the big thing. So, grass collected for May. It's 5:30. I am so going to have to get that clamp compacted as soon as I can. Well, I don't have to do it by tonight. I mean, there's nothing I can do about. We are going to have one loan payment before I can pay off any of the loans. So I don't really have to get it clamped tonight, but if I don't, I have to get it clamped as early as possible in the morning so that I can sell what I have. I am too close to that shed. Yeah, that, if I can get the tractor turned around fast enough, should be just not good enough. Okay, that should be just good enough. I had a random video show up on my Facebook this week of a truck driver reversing a double across a road into a loading dock, which was a quite impressive feat of skill, I would say. It's probably something Longhorner can do in his sleep, but you know. Okay, let's go get the fertilizer and do the fertilization thing. I bet you that seeder is now working as intended, just planting the seed, and the reason it wasn't was because okay, let's press F1 so I can see all the things. Turn on crop sensor. Okay. Oops. Okay, I did that. I actually wanted to press that button there. Oh, come on. Stay on. Thank you. Oh, it looks like Courseplay missed a bit in my other grass field, which maybe I should go and take care of that too. This really won't take that long. So yeah, because I had Courseplay set to if your seeder can fertilize, then do so. That's why the planter was having issues. But because I was running the tank as a seed tank, that's why it was complaining. Oh, yeah, I can accept that. Yeah, I mean this is a farm manager start. It's not a start from scratch start. But I think it does depend on the map you're on. This map, the land is incredibly pricey. The other thing to do to mitigate that somewhat is to possibly, okay, if the map you select has pre-built farmyards, then yes, taking out some of the money is probably, it makes it a little bit more of a challenge. On this map, not only are the fields pricey, but you also don't get pre-built farmyards, so you have to buy all the buildings as well. So at that point, one of the reasons I went with the whole farm manager and took all the money was because I did want at least some semblance of a farmyard. Okay, that's not going to spread. So, okay, that field's now done. We need to go do the contract. The Valtra has 6 minutes left to run. We need to turn the spreader off so we'll actually get some speed out of this thing. Yes, so that map, you've got the yard, it's got the buildings. I mean, and it really depends on the map. I do know what was the early map in FS19 from Oxygen David? It was the one with the pre-built cow and sheep area, a few big fields on it. It wasn't a particularly big map, but you had to start on New Farmer in order to get the farm. Otherwise, if you started on Farm Manager or start from scratch, you didn't get the farm buildings. And you couldn't place the farm buildings. So if you wanted to play in the farm, the only option was New Farmer, which was a little bit sad. This farm I'm not too worried about. Alien Jim, I think, is another one who does. When they make a map, you have all the buildings available. So if you start a New Farmer, you get the farm, you get all the equipment. If you start from scratch or field farm manager, you don't get the buildings in the yard, but you do get all of the buildings available for you to place on the map. So you could load in New Farmer, have a look at what the yard looks like, find a yard you generally like the look of, and then start from scratch and place those buildings, or some of those buildings, to make it good. Yeah, make it nice. And it does use up a lot of your cash because you're buying the buildings as well as the fields and the equipment. Yeah, the other option is if you start from scratch, you end up taking out maximum loan like Arthur does, and then scraps the series because he can't afford to pay all the money he's borrowed. Or Virtual Farmer, who tends to think about the loans he's taking out, and I've let my tea go cold. Yeah, Virtual Farmer tends to run his series on deep in debt until the end of the series, and he usually decides, okay, in 3 years' time we're going to see where we are, and his goal is to have 0 debt at the end of 3 years, but he's using maximum debt up to that point. So I tend to avoid, well, at least until this series, I've tended to avoid using debt. I have leveraged the lease to own, so we can lease a piece of equipment, and then when the cash becomes available, we can buy it. I do not have lease to own on this playthrough. Otherwise, I would probably have leased the planter, and then at the end, once we had another £40,000, I would, buy it outright. So, it's... I think the last few playthroughs, Oakfield was a start from scratch. Was it a start from scratch? Oakfield might have been a new farmer, sell off the equipment. It's like Lawfolds. I did Lawfolds the same way because there was easy, medium, and hard mode. So Lawfolds we played it in hard mode. You start with the set farm. You start with the set equipment. I sold all of the equipment and bought equipment I wanted. And we're going to run out of fertilizer before I get to the end of this contract. We are 81% done. Okay, I can top up the tank at the store, at the yard. But yeah, Lawfolds, you didn't have the option. It was just easy, medium, hard. So I played on hard mode, but I later found out that on Lawfolds, the economy was very favourable, which actually made hard mode more like easy mode, medium mode on any other map. So it wasn't super difficult. It was just kind of difficult. But still, I mean, it took us a while to build that up, but it did build up faster than I probably would have expected under hard mode. Oakfield Farm, I think, similar thing. We started with the farm. No, I didn't. I did start on... oh, that was it. With Oakfield Farm, I transferred a lot of money from Lawfolds. Not all of it. Just I did a sort of 5 million sell over, and we did start with a lot of money, bought a big farm, bought the sheep, bought all the stuff, bought some big tractors. Let's go to, no, I'm going to need at least 5. Because we're going to be planting some corn before much longer, and that is going to chew through fertilizer. And then with Maypole, that was strictly a start from scratch. I didn't transfer any extra money, we just took what we had. I was using a lease to own. This playthrough I've decided there's no lease to own, but we can take a loan out, and it's a repayment loan rather than a pay the interest every month until you decide to pay off the entire amount you borrowed. So every month we're paying the interest plus a little bit of principal, so that the loan is reducing over the course of time. And we selected 3 years to hold it for. In 3 years' time they're going to be paid off if I don't take any other action. So that's all a thing. All the different ways of playing, and I wanted to change it up for this series. yeah, as I said, one of the things we're doing is right now we're not doing bales. I may do bales on silage contracts eventually, but for right now, I'm not doing bales. So that limits us to doing hay contracts only, but we can do all the others like the fertilization contracts and the seeding contracts and the harvesting. We can't even do harvesting contracts because I don't have a harvester, which is a little bit sad. Okay, we are wasting fertilizer doing this. I have noticed, so I need to use the go no go button. Okay, oops, took that off. I'm assuming that contract's done. Because seriously, we've been spreading all of that. Yeah, fertilization is done. Oh no, there's a new fertilizing contract. Hey, let's take that one. These are completed, so I get paid for that one and that one. I need to get the Valtra over to field 12. We'll do that. Okay. Clear the pass. Oh, and it's going to cost about 3,000 to service the Valtra, which I am going to need to do before we go anywhere else. That's okay, because we're going to be down at the store. So, fortunately, this thing does work with the front tank full of seed. Fairly certain we use more than 1,000 litres of seed, or more than what was in the tank, 630. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe we're... I'm so confused. We bought 1,000 litres of seed, just the one, and we had about 500. I might get ourselves another sack of seed because, as I said, we are going to be planting. No, not repair. Oh, it's getting more pricey to do. 4,200. It's usually only 3,000. That's scary. Okay, let's get ourselves a bag of seed before we leave. Let's have a look here. 28-foot case header and a 603. What does that go on? 603R goes on a 6M. What does a 6M do? 130 to 140 horsepower. Too small. Just wondered. Oh no, you have to lift it up to get it into those, don't you? Oh, not to worry. We did use all 630 from the back. Oh, it does fill if it's that position, that's fine. Okay, where are we going? We are going, oh, there's a rolling contract. I don't have a roller. Sowing is field 12. That's up on the top there. Oh, we're going to have to go up and down hills and dales. So we've fertilised all of our current fields that have grass in. They've been harvested once, so the lime is slightly degraded, but not too badly. We can cut it 3 times before the lack of pH starts affecting yield. Now, because of the size of our lime spreader, at the moment we're kind of stuck, at least for things like the arable fields. I kind of want to lime them every single year, but because we're flip-flopping between grass and the other stuff, that's not really an option. Oh, sorry. I mean, when we get to proper combine harvesting and growing barley and all of that stuff, then if I've still got that spreader, in all likelihood we will be liming after every harvest, because we don't have the luxury of carrying enough lime to do a 3-step improvement in pH. But with the grass fields, because we're cutting them 3 times a year, and with the corn fields, because we're kind of cutting them 3 times or twice a year, because we're putting grass in them for the winter, that's all going to be a thing we have to monitor as we're working those fields. Oh. Okay, 12 is actually to our right. That's okay. I mean, we're going to get into field 12. Looks like it's full of white stuff at the moment. But field 12, as we exit it, it's going to put us right across the road from our yard. You can see the path to our yard over there. So slam the brakes on, squeaky, 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 and stop. Okay, no course. Make a new course. I think the course we had for the corn was fine. This field we're going to start from the bottom, so we'll drive over there. Now my prime reason for picking the farm that we did with Maypole, we picked a cow farm with a good number of grass fields around it, because I wanted to go cows. With this farm I'm going primarily silage, and because of that we are I picked a farm that is close to the grass sell points. So on this map we've got a bunch of buildings just over that hill you can sell grass products at. If you go down that way to the road, which is right there, you've got the BGA and another bale sell point, or grass sell point over there. So 3 very, very close. I do not have to do a lot of road driving to get to sell my silage. So that's a good thing. I do not need that on for this. Where are we going? going to 39, which is, I am here. If we go straight down there, across the road, we'll be there. Sounds good. How do I get out? I think I get out this way and we turn right. We've still got a fairly full tank of fertilizer. How are we doing? Game wheel time is 11 o'clock. Oh, the sun's come out. It's very cloudy outside. It's been looking like it's going to rain for the last 3 days. Just very ominous cloud cover, and yet we got no rain the last little while. We were supposed to have thunderstorms on Tuesday. That didn't happen. We were supposed to have rain showers on Wednesday and Thursday. That didn't happen. Excuse me while I get stuck on the hedge. There we go. I think we're supposed, at the moment, it's saying we're supposed to get rain on Thursday next week and Thursday the week after. So we shall see. It's good for the farmers. Said one of our farmer friend at church, I think he was planning to be out harvesting at least one field of soybeans so he could plant some wheat for the winter. His other soybeans are about 2-3 weeks off. There's a lot of farms along the highway between us and church which the soybeans aren't quite ready yet. It's close, but they're not fresh, not quite ready yet. Millennial Farmer just did his first 100 acres of soybeans. So that's all going on. Valtra is going to take 25 minutes. Okay, that's fine. So we're getting into soybean harvest season here locally. One of the farms locally just did, I think, he might have managed a 4th cut of hay. Although this time he had a bunch of his bales were square and the rest were, he does round bales only, but he had quite a few square bales mixed in with the round balers. Now I don't know, obviously no idea if his round baler failed, so he got out the old square baler to get the stuff all finished off, or whether it's easier to stack square bales in a shed, and so for winter he has a supply of square bales in his shed. Just a little speculation there, because